Hello, hello. Happy Monday, or perhaps Tuesday if you happen to be catching this later or in a different part of the world. Hello, how are you doing today? So, my question for you today is, when was the last time you met with your CSO? Have you met with your CSO? Maybe you have. Once you know what it stands for, you might be able to tell me more accurately. But before I tell you about how you can meet with your CSO, what it's going to do for you, your business, your life, your joy, and all of that good stuff, I will introduce myself. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Megan Nolan. I am so excited that you are here, whether you are on my own personal page or inside the Energized and Empowered Entrepreneur community every Monday at this time, which is 2:30 Hawaiian Standard Time, which is 5:30 Pacific and 8:30 Eastern. I go live to share some magic with you. And I'm just going to grab this video and pop it over into the Energized and Empowered Entrepreneur community so that you all can watch it in there too. So let's get back down to business, shall we? We are fast approaching the month of November. Bum, ba, da, ba. I know. Hold your horses, 2022. Like, what's happening here? So I know you know that November is often a month of thankfulness, right? Because here in the US, we have American Thanksgiving. Canada, you already had yours, and other countries around the world, they have that theme of Thanksgiving. So as we come closer to November, I really get inspired to share about my experience with gratitude practice and why it's been so powerful for me, and what it is and what it means to speak to and connect to your CSO, which is all wrapped into the gratitude practice, which I'm going to share with you in a moment. So before I do that, I will let you know that in the theme of thankfulness, every Thursday in November, I'm going to be sharing a super quick tool for you to drop into gratitude, to get up in that G vibe. Yes, you heard correct. Get up in that G vibe. Gratitude is a frequency, it is a vibration, it is considered one of the highest energy emotions, and it is one of joy and appreciation. So it's a powerful tool for you. So that's why every Thursday in September, I'm going to be sharing a quick tool for you to use, and we'll be having some fun with that. So it's going to be a super short video, and everyone that plays along will get a give back gift from me, because I'm all about giving back, and I want to help you to tap into gratitude because it's been a life changer. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And let's get back to CSO. So a few years ago, I'm trying to calculate, I should have done the math ahead of this, 7-ish years ago, I was having a really dark chapter of my life. A lot of sadness, a lot of frustration, feeling discouraged, feeling rather lost, not sure what I should be doing and if I'm on the right path. You know, we all have those moments of questioning, right? Let me know in the chat if you can relate to that. And perhaps you have heard me say before, or perhaps you haven't, I am a huge advocate for having a conversation around mental health for so many reasons. One of which in particular is that in the entrepreneurial community, the studies show us that approximately 49% of entrepreneurs struggle with one or more of the following: ADD, ADHD, depression, anxiety, bipolar, or a combination of that. So I think that this is sort of this dark shadow, literally, of entrepreneurship that not many people are talking about. And I want to be part of that conversation because as I just mentioned, and you maybe know, that I have had seasons of sadness in my life. I have gone down that path and gone, luckily walked my way back out with love and support and tools, which I'm going to be sharing with you in a moment, because this is something that's not really often discussed. And if it's 49% of the entrepreneur community, that's pretty significant. And that's an older study from the University of California. So I would say it's probably higher, because when they came out with information at the beginning of 2022, the research was showing that approximately 70% of people were dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, a lot of sadness. So, based on the global situation of the last few years, it would make sense that that number's higher. Regardless of what it's at, it's an important conversation for us to have. And so one of the tools at the time, I was meeting with a friend of mine, and she said, I think one thing that's been really helpful for me is this book. And I was like, all right, bring it on. I love to learn. Let me know if you love to learn in the chat. And I said, well, what is it? And she said, well, this is the book. It's called The Path to Wealth. So the woman that wrote this has 6 multi-billion-dollar businesses. The largest grew over to 100 million in annual revenues. She accredits her success to the principles described in this book. And so I thought, all right, well, and my friend had been using it, and so I thought, okay, yeah, give it to me. I'll try it out. And so there's 7 principles in the book, and I wanted to share 2 of them with you today. You can grab the book on Amazon, I'm sure. And one of them is connecting and having a meeting with your CSO. So those of us here in the business world, you've probably heard this tossed around. We have the CEO, not the Chief Everything Officer, but the Chief Executive Officer, the the CFO, and all different positions in that C-suite of the higher levels of corporation and businesses. For many of us here in this community, you are the CEO, you're also the CFO, you're also the everything, and the marketing and the this and the that, and we all have the hats, right? And so when I read this book, she invites you to connect with your CSO, your Chief Spiritual Officer. And she describes that as God. You might describe it as nature, universe, source energy, Yahweh. You might describe it as God. So whatever word makes sense for you, that's what she's speaking to. Essentially, it is writing a letter in thanks for everything that you have. So essentially it's a gratitude practice, but it evolves into a manifestation practice. So what I started to do based on the strategies in the book, following the 7 steps, is I began to write that letter every morning, have a moment with my CSO, and do a list of those things that I was grateful for. And so keep in mind, I was in a really dark chapter, and so admittedly, sometimes it was hard for me to find things. But then I took a step back and I got a lot more perspective on it, because the fact that we wake up each day, we hear that, and it might be a little cliche, but there's always a lot for us to be grateful for, should we choose to take that perspective. And so we start with, so in the letter, you start with all the things that you're grateful for. And then you begin to evolve that into the things that you are inviting into your life, that you are calling in, that you are attracting, you are creating in your life through your thoughts, through your energy, through your words, through your actions. And so you begin to declare those things, declare your gratitude for those things in the same letter. And so you're writing to your CSO, your higher power, your source, whatever it is. So you're declaring the things you're grateful for now and the things that are on their way. But you're writing as though you already have it. And then the second step that she has you do, and there's actually an interesting amount of discussion around this that first step. There's lots of science behind the amazing benefits of gratitude, the boost in your immune function. People are just happier, generally nicer people to be around, lower rates of anxiety and depression, less inflammation and pain, better sleep. Those are some good ones. We could start there. So that's shifting us into that place. But then, of course, it brings you into that higher vibrational energy, emotional state, right? Which is why I would hazard a guess it helps us to move out of those sadness chapters of our lives. Or even just on a daily basis, keeping you at that even, steady keel. So the second step, actually in her book, it's the third step, I should say, just to make sure I'm telling you this correctly. Yeah, it is the third step. The first is to read something inspirational to kind of get you in that zone. The second step is to write the letter. The third one is to speak it out loud. And there's a lot of power in this. So what I've done, because I am such a huge advocate for morning routine, and this is one of the key foundations of my morning routine, is what I do with that is I've combined it with tapping. And so as I'm speaking that letter out loud, all the things that I'm grateful for, and then all the things that are coming along the way, what we're doing here is lightly tapping. So perhaps you're familiar with this tapping or emotional freedom technique, often called EFT or tapping. So what you're doing here is as you repeat these statements out loud and you're doing the tapping, so you tap along certain points, slightly, you can tap. What it does is it soothes your nervous system. It brings you into a very grounded state. And as you say these statements, because you're in that calm and centered state, it makes these things safe for your nervous system. Because if you're stretching yourself and you're thinking of all these amazing goals that you're creating, your brain immediately has the like, whoa, 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 what are you thinking? No, no, don't get crazy now. Keep it in the comfort zone. So when you repeat these statements of what it is that you're calling in and you're grateful for, as you do the tapping, it's very calming for you. So it's a really beautiful way to start the day. So that is how you connect with your CSO, your Chief Spiritual Officer. So I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Do you have a gratitude practice? Does that make sense to you? Do you have any questions? Let me know in the chat below. I'd love to hear from you. I would love to continue this discussion. So today's Mondays with Megan session, focusing on that, a tool that you can integrate easily into your morning routine quickly, right? You could even, and if you don't want to do the letter, then you can just do, write it down, or sorry, I guess you could just say it to yourself if you don't want to do the letter. So you're kind of doing 2 steps in one, just repeating those things to yourself and really grounding that in, because it is such a powerful way for you to start your day. What a beautiful tone to set for the day, to start from that place of appreciation. So incredibly powerful. So that is Mondays with Megan today. I can't wait for you to join me. Every Thursday in November is Thankful Thursdays. We'll be sharing a tool, a cue, a prompt to help you to get into gratitude. So keep an eye out for that. That's coming soon. I also do have some really awesome things coming for you in December and January. I have to say I'm quite proud of myself. I'm very strategically planning right now and I'm very proud. Yay me. So keep your eyes peeled because we got some really good stuff coming. It's really good. So cool stuff coming November, December, January, but I won't get ahead of myself. Thankful Thursdays starting on the first Thursday in November, which is the first Thursday in November, the 3rd. November 3rd. Keep an eye peeled, keep both eyes or one peeled for the Thankful Thursdays session. Quick video. You're going to love it. And have an awesome rest of your day. So let me know in the chat. Do you get on the G vibe? Gratitude, that is. Let me know. All right.